Battlefield of Eternity, game number 1. Semi-final number 2 here at the X Cup, everybody. It's the second qualifier for the event. So once again, Insta Samuro ban. Soaking showed his Samuro a couple of times now, and Samuro gets immediately banned even before I can talk a little bit about the event here. But of course, what I wanted to say is that through the qualifiers, again, if you are not familiar with the X Cup series, this is 10 qualification tournaments that we're running through. With every single one, you can accumulate points as a team, and then at the end of the 10 qualifiers, at the end of the season, we are having the top 8 advancing to the playoffs, where they play for 4,000 euros of prize money, sponsored by Mr. X, hence the X Cup. And yeah, we have a pretty fantastic lineup here. We got the Bangbush going up against the Cats. Today, the Bangbush not playing with Lauber, so they actually contacted us earlier and said, like, listen, Lauber can't make it today, gonna play with a sub. So hence, no Lauber in this one. We have instead Nagrom playing for the team. But it's kind of funny to me that they're instantly banning out Samuro here. Alright. But yeah. Currently, we have our first picks coming in. Bans on the side lane. Hanzo, since he's one of the biggest damage dealers in Battlefield of Eternity against the Immortal, is also getting the axe. And here comes Rhaegar as the first pick directly for Henning. So, yeah, let's get the show on the road. Let's see what the Cats are going to pull off here. The Cats have always been a bit of a wild and interesting team. And they are getting stronger and stronger. Especially in the X Cup, they've made a much better showing than in the Masters Clash. Personal opinion. Even though they got their act together towards the end there as well. So we got Soaking on Urel, and we get Drak here on Liming, looking for those resets and those combos they can throw out again against the Immortal. And there's Genji and Hogga. Alright. So, we already have our little engage into the backline here. Genji, of course, with reset mechanics as well. So, not only Li Ming can at least reset his Swift Strike. And he is going to be the one to try and pressure the squishes in the backline. No support taken for the team yet. Captain Rex in the past has played a lot of Rhaegar. A lot of Anduin too. So, we could see him on Anduin again. He's pretty much been bouncing around 3 supports lately. And especially on this map, he's been playing a lot of Anduin. So, they don't have Genji, so they can't go into any kind of like light bomb combo. They could still play him, of course. Depends also a bit on what kind of tank they decide in favor of. But yeah, Nagrom, of course, now again in the tank composition here. Yeah, his main role, like he subbed in at the beginning of the year at the international event in Miami for Team Wa and played support back then. By the way, talking about supports, there's the Anduin ban, so I'm not the only one that knows what kind of preference picks Captain Rex usually has. So they banned out Lucio, they banned out Anduin, and they took away his Rhaegar. Plenty of support still available to him, of course, but yeah, he will have to go a little bit more outside of his usual comfort zone. And we'll figure out quickly what that's going to be. Captain Rex, and, well, no, he's going to pick last. We got Diablo and Cassia. Okay, Diablo for that front line. And then Cassia on top of that too. Bishops? What is he going to pick here? Are we going to get a Sylvanas, for example? I mean, normally when you're talking about Bishops, you obviously think immediately about Hanzo. But he was banned out quickly. Not only because of the Immortal on the map, but also because Bishops is insane on that hero. In the past, when he's banned out, Sylvanas has been a go-to for him. He's been playing Cassia and also Genji. But yep, they could still go for it. They pick Vala instead. I like that. Really like that one. And we get Muradin for Nagrom. Again, Vala fan. Obviously, the initial impression, or the initial reaction would be, hey, arrow build. Arrow build against the Immortal. Could definitely happen. But Vala is currently so flexible in the way that she's been built with talents that you can absolutely go for any other style here too, even on Battlefield of Eternity. And Uther comes in as our support for the Cats. Well guys, let's get settled. Battlefield of Eternity, map number 1, the Cats against the Bangbush. Bangbush against the Cats. We got Henning against Rhaegar. Skog on Genji. Bishops is playing Vala. I'm still waiting to see what he picks as his level 1 talent. Nagrom on Mirrodin, and we got a Swamgrotta on Hogger. Right on the right side of the map, in red, we got Drakia on Cassia, Honio on Diablo, Captain Rex on Uther, Soaking is playing Yrel, and Tirath is playing Li Ming. And there it is, the arrow build for bishops. Vala is really fun for me personally, because she has been going through so many different cycles, even in HGC times. The one thing that you couldn't play in HGC was an auto-attack style, because back then Noob of the Hunter, Creed of the Hunter was an absolute noob trap and was just total garbage and horse shit. But you could play really nice multi-shot builds, you could play with an arrow build, and she went multiple times through iterations where one or the other talent build was better. Chris in particular really popularized the arrow build outside of Battlefield of Eternity. But then with the changes, as we see by the way the first really nice trap and kill on Uza, with the changes that Blizzard brought in for Vala's auto-attack style, those were very effective, and that was one of the patches that really did her a lot of favors. So now you can play all three styles depending on your team composition. Do you play double support? Can you keep her alive? Can you keep the gambit stacks? Do you try to go for like an arrow build regardless? Or are you looking at additional wave clear? So there's so much cool stuff that you can do right now. And it's going to be interesting to see how many stacks Bishops gets, because not only are you very dangerous against the Immortal, but also against heroes. And talking about dangerous against heroes, they get 1 kill, they get 2 kills, and that is another nice and neat double kill that they just locked in here, while they now go for the camp. Yeah, so as you can tell, I mean, they were diving down quickly, and that Storm Bolt that sealed the deal for Li Ming. Didn't see that coming. Diablo getting killed then too was of course the third one in total for the blue team. So already they are pulling ahead here. And they're really applying the pressure. It also helps Vala to get stacks together. She's sitting at 5. Nothing insane, but again, it's getting there, you know. So down to the bottom of the map. Still a little bit of poking happening here. And things are looking very, very good currently for the Bang Bush. Because now they can try apply more pressure with the camp. Teams will of course now start to fall back in another moment in order to get their shaman camps ready for the next push. We'll still have to keep a bit of an eye on Vala and how many stacks she gets in total. By now we got the repeating arrow 2, so level 7 is of course the big one for the immortal damage once you get your monster hunter. But that normally doesn't happen around the objective unless the teams are really, really brawling it up before. And I guess you could argue that this is more or less happening right now. So with a few more hero kills, we might even be able to get to the next talent here. But at this point, it's level 4 talents all around, with 7 stacks already for Vala. So yeah, that's where she's currently sitting. And she's already using that together with Henning on Rhaegar to get the Shaman camp. A little bit of a poke here by Skork and Genji just to double check what's happening, trying to slow them down a bit, faking to say like, hey, we're here. Need to get some reinforcements in. And with that, we're going for the first Immortal. And of course, right now, if you can extend this fight a little bit and allow Vala to get to level 7, then it's going to be even more helpful for them. But she's already giving them the lead. And this camp on the right has indeed been delayed. So now they will likely have to play a little bit more defensive. Okay. And here we go. It's actually, it's kind of fun for me to also see Vala, because she's not really a usual pick here anymore. She's not picked all that often on Battlefield of Eternity these days. There's other heroes that have taken that position, but for Bishops that's actually pretty cool to see that now. And he is obviously doing a lot of work with his style, with his arrow build, despite the fact he doesn't have Monster Hunter yet, but still the arrow alone is already working wonders for them. And he's sitting at 9 stacks, so the initial damage later on when you're trying to burst the hero down is also going to be pretty significant and noticeable. So for now, still just playing out a bit with Li Ming, attempting to reduce the shield on the right side a bit. But they still can go in here, and more stacks of course also for Vala, which we're going to see now. Genji engaging, they go for Mirrodin, he's able to jump out. And yep, that's Hogger with a lot of damage and trying to tee it up for Genji. And he was nearly stunned into the Immortal stun. Cassia is the first one to fall though. The red team suffering another loss as Uther dies, and so does Diablo. That's a triple kill again for the Bang Bush. They got level 7. Monster Hunter is in, and they of course have an easy Immortal. Now Li Ming able to work another combo in and reduce the shield a bit further, but it's still a 12,000 hit point shield. that the Immortal has. And it seems that soaking is going to be a delayed kill. Yeah, Skork is not going to give him anything to work with here. They trap him, and that is, of course, a disaster. These staggered deaths are something that are very difficult to deal with on the defender side. Now the Immortal is coming down, and oh boy. Genji at the top doing damage. Down at the bottom of the map. This might be a fort. Yeah, this might be a fort. Top side and bottom are going to both take damage. The question is just how much. 7 kills to 0. Bangbush with an absolute incredible opening into this game. 14 stacks by now also for Vala. She's trying to get a few more here. Tries to get those stacks together, a few more hits in as she's employing the RNG. And with every single arrow that she connects, it's of course going to be another big step towards a successful objective number 2. Big Stormbolt and the double kill from Vala as they take the fort and 2 more kills. 9 kills to 0. And they are looking great. I mean, not only do they take the fort, they are even opening up parts of the wall now. And they're looking for another kill. Soaking is absolutely isolated from the rest of the team and doesn't stand a chance here. So this is the end of Urel. 10 kills to 0. Yeah, that was pretty amazing. It doesn't get much better than that. 18 stacks also for Vala, whereas Bishop's sitting on the damage. He's at 23,000, way ahead of anyone else at this point. Now, camps are still up on the map, and they're going for both. Muradin is playing with the vision here. They have no idea there's only Rhaegar. They have no clue. They might have even tried to fight for it, but all they see is Muradin, and he's already throwing Stormbolts out. So both of the camps are now taken. That was a nice, neat little move by Bangbush here to go for both of them, play with the vision. There's still no level 10 available for the Cats, which makes things, of course, so much worse. They still have to wait this out until they finally have heroic abilities, because without them, they just don't stand a chance. And this is exactly what the Bangbush is exploiting again, or at least trying to. They're losing Nagrom, though. That's a big chunk of experience that just ended up in the hands of the Cats, thanks to that XP advantage that the blue team had. But now they're pushing for fort number 2. And there's still very little that the Cats can do without level 10. It might not fall. It's definitely going to take damage. And of course, for Vala, it also means that as long as these brawls continue, she can get more stacks together, which is exactly what happened. She's sitting at 20. It's not too shabby. You get a double shot off against the Immortal, and that shield gets chunked down quickly. Uther with additional stuns, by the way, so we have a Divine Storm into Apocalypse play as a potential combo that they could utilize now. Yep, and only 1 camp gets claimed. That's another problem that they're facing here. Only 1 camp gets taken. They're immediately focusing on the Immortal, but Vala, I mean, she is just starting to solo the shit out of that thing. So yeah, now that Monster Hunter is active, I mean, look at this. Vala is easily doing work here. Still, the fight starts as Diablo sets the Apocalypse in play. Vala comes in for the kill and grabs it, and they're looking for more. The stuns from Uther, they're not going to be enough. He dies. The reset on the Swift Strike. Skork goes for the double kill. They go for the triple. They go for the quad kill, and the only survivor is Soaking. Yeah, that was ruthless. Absolutely ruthless. Look at Genji with the resets. Here comes the stun from Uther. That's after they already took Diablo down. Then he gets the resets. He kills 1, he kills 2. And it's just an absolute nightmare for the red team. They at least get a kill. So they were able to pull that off, which means that they now have 1 kill on the board. So it's not going to be a perfect game for the Bangbush either way. But starting a comeback from here on, whew, that's going to be wild. So yeah, of course, Bishops again. Chunks it down, arrow after arrow, and it's a big shield once more. 16,000 hit points this time. Definitely more damage than the last time. And yeah, off we go. Here comes another quick Stormbolt. Yeah, they're going for that. They're going for the camp. They're trying to steal it away with the level 13 talent lead that they have. Shouldn't be that big of a problem. Also offers even more opportunities for Vala to get some stacks together. And she's using those whenever she can. 24 stacks for now. 25 locks in a few more. Diablo is dead again. The camp at least taken by the Cats. So at least they got that. But they are paying a big price for it. Urel and Diablo are both dead. Both of them are gone. And yeah, 16 kills to 1. Immortal is already destroying the fort very, very easily. Oof, that's rough. That's very, very rough. Yeah. They're getting one hit in after another. They get way too much damage out there. It's gonna be a keep, very likely. And of course the problem is really that Vala's just scaling and scaling and scaling. She hasn't died a single time as the game continues. Her damage output against the Immortal is gonna be increased. Her damage output against heroes is gonna be even more as well. It's gonna be very tricky to get those kills in. This was the first fight where the cats at least had their level 10 abilities, so if they can coordinate those stuns a little bit better, they might just have a shot. But what they pretty much need to do is they need to get a kill around the objective and then really get one of those Immortals and snowball that a bit. There's so far not a single keep that has fallen, so it's not that big of a deal yet. But of course, with every single structure that you lose, you fall farther and farther behind and lose control of the map. Your fountain positions are being pushed back towards your own base, which makes it much harder to have these continuous, sustained team fights in the middle in particular. But yeah. And they're already chasing a bit more. Skorg has been playing a fantastic game on his Genji too. We're talking a lot about Vala here, but he had some really impactful moments. Nagrom very far out there. Stormbolt after Stormbolt that he YOLOs out here, but he gets caught hard. Gets the avatar off, but even that might not save him. Nagrom, and he dies. So they get a kill. Yeah, that was great. They get the kill here. And now the chase towards the top. This is really what they need to exploit. Now you got a numbers advantage. Now you have to try and see how far you can push that. We got down to the bottom of the map, a bit of a sneaky approach by Svamgrota as he's trying to push the wave towards the keep. Erath is the only defender here, so he exploited that a bit. But the camp gets taken. The Immortals are spawned in another 20 seconds though. And they haven't been able to take a structure down. And the bigger problem really is that we have level 16 for the Bank Bush. That's not only a 3-level lead, but there's an even bigger advantage in talents now. And that also means Manticore for Vala. She was already dangerous enough with the stacks that she has on her arrows, but in addition to that, we're now also talking about auto attack damage at the front line in particular, when we talk, for example, about Diablo here. So yeah, that's another big one. But as it stands, Vala is going to move in with the rest of the team. So arrows are already being used. 1, 2. Look how quickly the hit points disappear from just one combo. It's such a big chunk. But the fight is breaking out again. The cats need a win here. They need something, but they're so far behind. 2 levels. The stats advantage alone is a problem. But they get the stun and they get the kill. Muradin is dead. The resets for Li Ming. Herath is trying to snowball it, and he nearly got Rhaegar too. But it seems that Henning can escape for now. So does Genji. And they are trying to follow it up with the kill on Urel. She dies. And that turns it into a 4 versus 4 once again. Yeah, nicely done. So with that, we have still the pressure around the Immortal. The blue team is trying to attack. And they're getting punished for it as Genji gets caught by Diablo and eliminated by Uther. Now, well, Uther dies too, but so does Hogger. All of a sudden, the cats are showing their claws and are starting to take some heroes down. The problem is, of course, that they still have a camp and a catapult pushing against them at the bottom of the map. And I got bad news. That is going to be the end of the keep. This keep they won't be able to save it. Yep, the keep is gone. Cassie already realized it and said, fuck it. Li Ming dies to Vala, and Bishops is sitting at 40 stacks now. 40 stacks for him, and they are going for Drag here. So another arrow gets being used, sits at 41, and he is absolutely chunking the damage now. 53,000, and I'm not even talking immortal damage here. So now it's just a desperate defense by the cats as they are trying to save what's there to save. Stop the bleeding somehow. Muradin is getting, by the way, stun locked over and over and over again. I mean, he must be so tired of it. Half the time, Nagrom can't even play the game at this point. He's just literally sitting there watching his hero, not doing anything, not reacting to any input. Rhaegar has to drop those Ancestrals whenever possible, but it's Diablo that dies. They were this time able to save the dwarf. And the fight continues as they are pushing it a bit farther through the choke point. But now the team has full control over the areas around the Immortal and can go for it. Genji is diving even deeper with Muradin. Apocalypse is used too, but it is all a Hail Mary that's being thrown here by the cats. It's 100% shield nearly on the Immortal. Svamgrota can take it. I mean, anybody that is just getting a whiff of this is going to take the Immortal down. Now Genji is trying to escape as he was pushing the top lane out a little bit too far. But this is of course where the Immortal is now going to push too. Vala's the only one, by the way, that hasn't died yet. The only one that hasn't fallen yet. Everybody else died at least once. But Muradin is in position, or slowly getting there. And now they got the chance to push this top lane out even further. So, 45 stacks for Vala. And they want the keep. They want the core, honestly, at this point. I mean, you are not on level 20, so that's a bit of a setback, but it's 20 kills to 5. You are 1.5 levels, 2 levels ahead. The keep is already at 50% HP, and you know that you can end the game here if you just get a kill or two. And that's what they're aiming for. The Bangbush wants to lead in the semi. There's the stuns. Vala with the Rain of Vengeance. The follow-up from Hogger. Not enough damage to get a kill, but Horneo is low, and the keep is gone. With that, they're pushing them even further back. Down goes Diablo, and they are aiming for the core. They got 1 kill. They're looking for number 2. The Urella's already used her ult, so she can't rely on that any further. And we got Drachia also nearly eliminated. They get the kills. Uther and Urel, they both die. Genji is also dropped, but that doesn't matter anymore. The shield is removed, the Immortal too strong, and that is a game. Game number 1 goes to the Bangbush as they take the Cats out with a 5-man team wipe towards the end of the game. Nicely done. GG. Well played.
Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV.
Game number 2, Infernal Shrines, is the second map as the Bangbush goes up against the Cats again. Very nice play by the blue team on the first map. And for the Cats, it was really difficult after they fell behind the experience this heavily to get back into the game. There were honestly 1 or 2 fights where they did a little bit better, but they were never at a point where they could exploit their advantages. Even when they had a numbers lead, they could not move in and take a fort down. To be honest, even if they did, it would have probably not changed anything. They really needed to have these late game fights more. I mean, they needed to decide them in their favor, and they really couldn't. They were able to kill Muradin a few times by that insane stun lock at the front, thanks to Uther also using Divine Storm. But sometimes he even survived by popping his avatar quickly enough, and then Rhaegar being ready with an Ancestral, and whenever that happened, you were pretty much doomed since you blew so many ults and didn't have the impact that you wanted. So it didn't really work out for them. We still see that ban against Samuro. As I said before, it's a targeted ban against Soaking, so that's one of those. Now, we have Junkrat banned on Infernal. We also have the ban on Hanzo. Again, not only banned because of the maps, but mostly because of Bishops on the other side. And here comes the first pick. So Soaking actually goes into Hogger as the first pick. They banned out Blaze and they pick Hogger first. That's actually a really good start for them. Bishops could play a Vala again. He still could play Sylvanas here. If anything, I honestly really expect Sylvanas to be chosen on this one. But if they start up with that, that's a different question. Rhaegar could be an early pick for them. But they go Brightwing. They go Sylvanas, as expected, and they go for Brightwing over Rhaegar, who's still up and could be picked here. Now again, for Captain Rex, Lucio, Rhaegar, those are 2 of the big picks that he has. Anduin, oftentimes, especially on Battlefield. That's one of the reasons why he was banned out there. But of course, they got to step it up a little bit. The Cats really got to get into their own groove and flow if they want to have a chance to take this one now. And, let's see. Jojo and Rhaegar get taken. Alright, so you got the Condemn, you got all of the AoE that you have with that, and you got the Lightning Shield on top of it. If you're taking the position on the Shrine, it's going to be good for you. And Sergeant Hammer is being banned. I love how Hammer is now again in one of those positions where everybody is aware that Hammer exists, whereas previously Hammer just completely disappeared for a while. So there was like a pretty long period, I mean nearly a year I would say, where Hammer just wasn't played and completely disregarded. And then some of the teams started to bring her back, and all of a sudden was like, yeah, she was really annoying, let's not do this again. So currently you still have teams banning her out. You see the occasional pick. I would predict that it's going to take a little bit of time, and then Hammer is going to be completely disregarded again until one team says, well, remember the times when we won with Sergeant Hammer. Let's annoy them again. So yeah, Maiev gets also banned. Nagrom for the front. His Diablo would be up if he wants to play him here. They go for the Haka and Falstad first. Ooh. Triple Global. Okay, they're going full Fnatic on us. Brightwing, Dehaka, and Falstad. Okay, okay. I see what you're doing. mass macro. Trying to push these side lanes out and trying to dominate the game that way. Yeah, there's no globals left for the cats. At least none that would in any way fit the meta right now. Sonya and Vala. Okay, so they're trying to repay them in kind. They have a triple front line to protect her. Vala's going to be the only range damage dealer for them. Yes, and with that, it's going to be for Nagrom. The final pick. We still need them with tank. It's going to be Diablo. Or we're going to see something completely different from them here. It's Diablo. It's Dibbles. Inferno Shrines, everybody. Map number 2. Let's go. The Bang Bush against the Cats. Bang Bush against the Cats with Henning on Brightwing, Bishops on Sylvanas, Nagrom on Diablo, Skog on Falstad, and Swamgrotta is playing Dehaga. On the right side of the map, we got the Cats with Drak here, going into that auto attack style that I talked about a little bit earlier. So he has this Gambit element now to his level 1 quest, now that Blizzard reworked that. We got Captain Rex on Rega, Horny O on Johanna, Herath is playing Hogga, and Soaking is playing Sonya. Now, we've seen quite a bit of auto attack Vala with a double support, but with the triple front line, the idea is obviously that nobody ever gets to her. If that's going to work or not, that's a different question. As always, this idea, okay, what do you need to focus on? Do you just try and get as many stacks as possible? And if you die once or twice, it doesn't matter. What's the priority? Now, generally speaking, if you can actually stay alive, that's more important than getting stacks. That doesn't mean that you're not attacking at all. Obviously, you still have to be part of the action and work some auto attacks in. But it's more important to don't die than to get a few more stacks together, because that auto attack speed that you get through the Gambit really synergizes well with your level 16, and even more so than with a level 20 talent later on, where you can have some incredible impact with Manticore alone against the opponent's frontline. So while you want to stack as much as you can, you want to do it in a safe way and sacrifice a few stacks in order to be safer and not die at all. So that's the priority. But obviously it's very tempting when you're playing a hero like Vala to go for the big dings and make that work. So yeah, we'll see. For now, what we have is a quick kill against Sonya, so the blue team is already back to the shenanigans of the first map and is starting to get some kills here. Vala is working with the rest down here to just get the hits in. But as I said, don't focus too much on the stacks. We're going to comment on those the entire time. But the more important part is try to not die. That's what the triple frontline is for. Rega's priority should also be Vala. She's the one that has to carry the game, but that's more so related to the late game than anything else. So, as it stands, Skog at the top was nearly a dead birdie. Not quite, but that could have been the chicken in the basket. I could really do, like, honestly, I love chicken. Well-made chicken, marinated with some good spices is just amazing. I'm getting a little bit hungry right now. I'm currently thinking of what kind of chicken I would really like the most. A bit of good old Korean spiced chicken at this point. These chicken wings that they have. Oh, I would kill for that. Ugh, so good. Either way, another kill. Red team is suffering a lot of Sonya deaths, as I notice. Down here the fight continues, as we have on level 4, of course, the Death Dealer for them now. I actually don't really know why this always happens, but every single time that we're talking about Heroes of the Storm and casting games, eventually we're going to end up at food. Yeah, that's the dead bishops. I have no idea what he thought there, but that's both of them dead. They probably thought that the rotation would be faster. Now, Vala gets killed. That's obviously a bit annoying, but again, yeah, they lose probably Jojo too, so they're losing a few heroes as well, but at least they can pressure with the rest of the team in the middle and also get their camp. Horny O and his Jojo also got out. Vala dying is a bit of a setback, but I still believe that with the 2 kills they just got and the extra stacks that she was getting was kind of worth it. So yeah. Maybe, maybe not, but I can totally understand the impulse. I mean, in that case, that double kill was just a little bit too juicy. So either way, it's now a battle for the first objective, and Hogga is just doing his stupid porking. Just porks it out completely. One of the reasons, this is one of the reasons why he oftentimes gets banned here. It's just like ding, 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 ding. I mean, it's just dumb. Sometimes it's just dumb. So Hogger doing his thing. Seems like the blue team is even considering just giving this up. Instead, they're pushing at the bottom of the map with Sylvanas. As long as they get counter value here, it doesn't even matter if they lose a Punisher. But the red team is not just focusing onto the shrine, and instead is also pushing the top lane. So while down here, the wall hasn't even been fully destroyed, at the top, the cats have pulled ahead and can now also go for the objective. Now, they're still trying to get a kill on Rhaegar, and he is actually gonna fall. Yeah, Rhaegar is dead. Nicely done. First quest stack completed for Vala. So she dies too, and that's a bit annoying because that means that we now have 2 of her auto attack stacks removed, the Gambit stacks. That's 10% of the attack speed gone. So it's a bit of a wild one. I have no idea where Hogger is going, but they got the Mortar Punisher. So Hogger is still on the run, and they're just trying to cut him off here. They know he's there. They know it. There's absolutely no way that he's going to make it out alive. He's still on the run. Herath, he's a man on the mission. Yeah, the Fleabag again. Brightwing sees it already, and that is the end. So Hogger goes down. Punisher has been defeated. He took down the wall, and they are busy at the bot lane with another camp that they're trying to claim here. So it's a bit of a weird game. It's a bit chaotic. 7 kills to 2. Level lead for the Bang Bush. I guess as the dust settles and they kill Sonya again, things are looking still very good for the blue team. They are massively ahead in kills. They have taken the lead in experience. And while they have suffered a lot of damage on the fort in the middle and the top lane, they can now try to, yeah, repay the opponent in kind by using Sylvanas to push these down. So there's that. But it's an interesting game that we're watching right now. There's level 10. So that's the Bang Bush with the rogue abilities. Skork gets saved by Brightwing. There's the APOC, and they're getting a kill on Rhaegar thanks to it. Dracula is about to die again and somehow makes it out unless Sylvanas gets him. Yep. That's unfortunate. Dumm gelaufen. Literally. Okay, so they get 3 kills, and that's when level 10 is finally available for the cats. So we got 11 to 2. And yeah, Sonya is going topside. Structurally, they are actually a little bit better set up. They are going to get that fort. And if Sonya is willing to sacrifice herself here, they're going to get that fort. Yeah. So very likely Soaking is now going to die. Maybe... Yeah, there's no lead. No, it's Wrath of the Berserker. For a second I was thinking, well, if they got leaped, then maybe she can jump out. But yeah, it's going to be a kill one way or another. I was obviously aiming for a counter kill here. That doesn't happen. Still a bit of spin to win. But that's going to be the end of Sonya. So she dies again. Nagrom also about to fall. That's 2 heroes down. We have 5 deaths on Sonya. She's not having a good time. Sonya in that side lane is getting absolutely brutalized. So, now we have a level lead. 1 fort destroyed. Blue team hasn't done any real structural damage outside of the top fort, which they have nearly destroyed, but not quite. So they need to step it up a little bit with Sylvanas. The next objective is, by the way, also spawning at the top. So that's, I mean, the moment when the fort is going to fall. Because before they're going in for it, somebody is going to damage that a bit. Be it Sylvanas or anybody else, doesn't really matter. But, yeah. So the objective is up. And Soaking is starting with the camp. 22,000 damage for Vala. She's still top damage at this point. 20,000 for Falstad. Don't forget that Vala is the only range damage dealer for the cats though. Whereas Falstad and Sylvanas can work in tandem on the blue team side. But this objective is going to be fairly important now because... I mean, they're going to get level 13 for it, and after that, I'm pretty sure that we're going to talk about level 16 versus 13 talents for the Bang Bush if the blue team gets another Punisher here. So, yeah. And they're going to push now for the fort to take that. Don't see a way. A world where this is not happening. But good push pressure at the bottom of the map. They're realizing that without the level 13 talent, they shouldn't take the fight. So instead, they're going for a fort. And that is the second fort that they're destroying. So they are still doing really, really well with map control. But they are falling behind farther and farther in kills. And as Soaking is having a very tough time staying alive with Sonya, that's of course also a rough time for them. Since it is just a 5 versus 4 over and over and over again. I think that was death number 6 on Sonya. So yeah, she's getting absolutely farmed. and the rest of the team is not looking much better. Dracula dies again. Jojo is trying to escape and is most likely not going to make it here. Runs straight into Brightwing. They're always following up on these. 15 kills to 3. And yeah, Falstad is still working on the camp. Hogger is just pogging and saying like, okay, I can't do anything else. Let's just steal the camp. And he's able to pull that off. And on the right side, this is where we're going to get another fort. Yeah, this is the second one that they are taking down. So the Bangbush is really coming into that momentum phase where they are snowballing the game hard. They are capitalizing on the big lead that they have in experience, and they're taking also more and more control of the map as they finally draw even in destroyed structures and can now, thanks to the objective at the top, push this even further. They want level 16, ideally before they make the play for the top Punisher. 34 stacks, 218 now, and Nagrom is looking for another wave. If they take those minions down, they will have the added talent. And there it is. So level 16 is in, and now they can try and go for another kill. And Draka is already under pressure. He's not the only one. Here comes the wall stun against Tireth. Gust into the wall. Ancestral to keep Vala alive. And the Arcane Punisher gets taken by the cats. The cats take another objective. Skork is able to escape. Hogger has already fallen. Everybody else is a bit low. Especially Vala needs to be careful. And of course Johanna. But it's also a kill on Bishop. So Sonya is able to just slam away at Sylvanas and get the kill here. They are all of a sudden in a position where they can push. What? That did not look good initially, but they took the objective. They got the kill after they lost Hogger. And now they can pressure for the keep. Not too bad. That's actually wild. They still lack the level 16 talent. So this is still a very risky one, but what else are you going to do? So Brightwing is dead, killed by Johanna, but Vala has also fallen. That's 5 deaths on Vala, 6 deaths on Sonya. But they are getting at least some damage in. The problem is it's just not enough. They need their level 16 talent to have any chance here. But they also need to make a move. They can't just simply sit tight and let the Punisher push by itself. They need to risk something here. And they are rewarded for those risks. They take Diablo down. The wall has mostly fallen. And they are getting closer to their own level 16. So they're getting somewhere with this. They're closing the gap in experience, and they're trying to push the fight back to Falstad, but they can't get the kill, and they lose Hogger instead. He just rejoined them for this. Sonya is also about to fall. She was hoping for a counter kill to drop Falstad. That didn't work, so 3 heroes are dead, and well, he's gonna die. No fucking way. Please, no, if he gets out there, that would be so fucking good. But Nagrom is having none of it. But I gotta admit, that would have been funny. So Rhaegar, with his little escape here, tries to run away from Diablo, gets caught then, and they're getting the kill. Now, Vala dies, so does Sylvanas. It's just a mad brawl. We have 29... Guys, we're 12 minutes into the game and we have 29 kills. That's where we're at right now. It's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, they're just brawling, brawling, and brawling. It's HGCF, the Heroes Global Clown Fiesta that we're seeing here. 2 heroes haven't died yet, by the way. The 2 globals haven't fallen once. Falstad and Dehaka have both been surviving through all of these battles that we've seen here. Brightwing, somebody will have to help out there. Brightwing alone doesn't really want to pull any of this off, I assume. It's going to take a little bit longer, but I guess that's the play. 19 to 17, 2 level advantage. And it's just a wild game. Very wild game indeed. So, they go for Nagrom again. They make the play here towards him, but he already saw that coming and retreated. That's also an important thing, that you just don't overstay your welcome in the middle of the map and the lane when you don't know where your opponent is and you're expecting a rotation towards you. So always just playing it safe, and that's what he did. Now, as the map opens up and all of these forts are being destroyed, the 2 globals on the side of the Bangbush obviously play a bigger and bigger role. And you can see this from Swamgrotta at the bottom of the map now. He has now all that space and freedom to... move to the US. Just kidding. And instead it's just like pushing lanes out, right? So much freedom. So, he's just pushing this out as much as he can. And they can technically also rotate either him or Falstad to the top to stop that camp that is now currently pushing the top lane. But either way, the whole goal here is to really just use those 2 globals and control the pacing as best they can. So Falstad could, for example, now also just move towards the top. Seems like that's exactly what happens. And then he can fly towards the shrine if they want to fight for the objective. They got level 20, so they have the advantage, and the big one at that. That gives them the isolation, wind tunnel, a lot of control tools, just in general. Yep, and it's shrine time. Sonya starting it up. There's the wind tunnel, Apocalypse. Nice combo, and it leads to a kill on Hogger and on Rega. Nice and sexy combo. We've seen that executed in the past. They get a triple kill in total, and they're just going for the bot lane key. But this is how that was done. They just go and gust them into the wall with the wind tunnel, the Apocalypse follow-up, and that allows them to now go for the keep at the bottom of the map. And obviously, they are trying to go for a game and just finish all of this off. That's exactly what's going to happen here. So they're making their play. They're going straight up for the keep. And with only 2 defenders, they have an easy shot at the core to win this series with a 2-0 and move on to the grand final, where the Bang Bush is going to face off against Chili Mountain, the former team. 50% on the core. They're chasing Drak here. Vala is about to die again, but plays around the gate at least. Yeah, so still gusting them out, and Soki might be in trouble. Still 30% on the core, but Dracula dies. Falstad follows up with a kill. Still hasn't died yet. 48,000 for Skog. And Skog had a great day so far. On Genji earlier, and now here on Falstad, and as I say, he finally dies. And I don't think they can end the game. They fucked around too long with Vala, and now they are losing all of their heroes. Which means that the cats are gonna get level 20. Instead of focusing on the core, they were all chasing Vala. And that is a successful defense with the objective that Sonya was sneaking earlier, doing a little bit of damage in the middle of the map. No fort is left on the blue side either. And they are gonna try and take the top keep, I suppose. Level 20 for both teams. I mean, are we gonna get a comeback? I don't really think so, but crazier things have happened, so I guess we'll see. If they can make this work, that would be nuts. That would be absolutely nuts. It's 20 versus 20, and Vala now has Manticore and she has Farflight Quiver. She has also pretty much lost all of the attack speed, so at this point you might just go for stacks, and try to get as much auto attack damage out as possible, and then murder Diablo every single time he pops his head out. Just play whack-a-mole with him. But yeah, this could get wild. This could get real wild. So they're controlling the campsite. Obviously, you have to control vision now too. I don't know if they should have pushed for keep. The problem is, long run, I think they needed to go for the keep here. I don't think that it would have been the best key push ever in the best situation, but look at what's happening next. Next, we have a shrine at the top, so that's where the Punisher spawns. It's going to be nearly a 20-minute Punisher. Your core is at 18%, and you have 2 globals against you that can push the bot lane against you, and the catapults, and can, if they want to, even backdoor your core. So I think they needed to push the advantage while they had it, and try to just gain some momentum here. It would have been not the best push ever, but I don't think they're gonna get a situation that is great for them, because again, they're up against 2 globals. And unless the Bank Bush is completely brain farting this from here on out and goes full throw city on us, they should, just on the macro side alone, be able to win this. They don't need to fight. They are the ones that can sit tight and wait until they're forced into a battle. So, yeah, Nagrom, is he gonna get caught here? No, not completely. Falstad is actually flying in, a little bit too much, but okay. Iron Skin is being used. It's a little bit chaotic, but they're starting to fight this one out, and they nearly got the kill. Honio survives though, and the Farseer's Blessing is really helping them here. Good attempt by both teams to get an initial kill, but it seems like Captain Rex might die after all. Can Rega get him? Yes, he can! Goes in and drops the doggy. The support is gone. And I guess that's going to be the end of it, unless, of course, there's a counter kill happening. But now the APOC gets used. Jojo walks in, gets dropped, and with only 3 survivors make it 2, this game is over. So, nicely done. Good team fight by the blue team. As I said, I think the only chance for the Cats was to at least take the keep. At least do that. But it was always an uphill battle from the time that they fell so far behind in experience. Hoga is dead. They're opening up the wall. Sylvanas is making sure that they can go through without any real damage. A couple of R buttons are being pressed just for the lulz. And that is a game. So, nicely done. Took them a little bit longer, but they finish what they started. We got Bangbush with a 2-0 victory against the Cats. And they move on to face Chili Mountain in the grand final.
Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description, and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.